Today we'll be taking a look at a couple of viewer-submitted matches of StarCraft 2, played on the new maps, of course. The first match of the day, a 2v2 on the map, Polka. Polka, indeed. The red Zerg playing on Team 1 here in the bottom right is going to be Elite So H. Yeah. Their ally, the blue Terran, also in the bottom right corner here. It is On. Or Ann. Team 2's Teal Zerg here in the upper left, starting off with that quick spawning pool. It is Ollie Girl. From Clan No. I like the clan name. And lastly, the purple Terran here, also in the upper left corner. It is Great Oz. I changed my mind. Let's get the team colors here. So we've got red in the bottom left. We've got red Zerg, red Terran versus blue Zerg, blue Terran. This might help. Might help just a little bit. Yeah, we won't see what, individual, like, oh, what's Teal building? But with them being on separate teams, I think we'll be okay. I think you guys can manage. So, team game. Who's cheesing? Who's cheesing here? Oz has to let the SCV out of the barracks area. This is a Reaper entrance, an employee access point to the base, of course. However, their opponent does not seem too keen on building said Reapers, on going for a very fast factory, a lightning factory, one could say. Couple Marines as an opener. What's it gonna be? Quick starport too. Very fast 1-1-1 here. No command center follow-up though. The red Zerg, Elite, Ellet, So H. People's names always impress me. Got that quick hatch up, gonna focus down the unbuildable plate rocks there. Initial Reaper comes out for our blue Terran. Meanwhile, the Zerg, likewise, expanding very far forward though, leaving a base for your Terran ally. How polite. How kind of you. Let's check in with that Reaper. How many Reapers are we looking at? There's 3 Reapers on the map. 2 of them are right here even. Overlord providing a little high ground vision, able to take a couple shots at those Zerglings. Not going to do too much though. Let's check in with this one up here, actually getting them. Getting close enough, gonna snipe off both of those lings, denying a little bit of scouting. Red Zerg going to be in the dark. Just a little bit. Queen's quick to respond. Base defense solid. Was that a drone pull? A drone stack away from where the Reapers were. The Appums here. Is that the Zerg up at the top? Yes. Red Zerg at the top for the Appums. Juicy. Very good. Keeping everything alive here. We'll keep following these Reapers. I see a medevac in the production tab. What is it? Is a tank drop? Oh dear. On. Not playing a game since Wings of Liberty. It's still doing a Wings of Liberty tank style drop. Very deadly back in the day, might I say. Not so much these days though. A little weird to see somebody flat out die to this. It could happen though. Oz taking the solid opportunity while the drop is out on the map to kill a few SCVs. Can I see the workers kill? No, not like that. Alright, a lot of roaches. Gonna help with the defense. The Reapers should be staved away, which means we can check in with the medevacs, which cross the mineral wall. I didn't even look at this map. This map is probably above my pay grade. Team game map. Just drop it. Yeah, siege it up. Could go after the barracks. Might be able to deny stim, deny the base here. Actually gonna focus down that tech lab. Stim is canceled. The reactor's the next target. What is going on over here? The roaches gonna start to stream across the map. But the tank drop is already there and it is wreaking havoc in Oz's base. Picking up those medevacs. Decent chunk of Marines, but without stim, they are not going to have much help against this drop. Lings come to the aid though. Tank's gonna focus down a couple SCVs, kill a few units. They will eventually be dealt with right as the roaches hit the front door of Ollie. Queen's the first to suffer. Lings, they get a pretty good surround. The Lings should be able to handle this. Roaches kill Lings very effectively though. The Lings are not escaping from this unscathed, but they will escape, which is more than the roaches get to do, I suppose. The rest of them turn back right around home. You guys see what's in the production tab? Here's one. Here we go. It's gonna be that kind of day on transitioning from the tank drop into hurricane thrusters, many clones. Can I say it? Can I say the line? Begun the Cyclone War has. Yes, very good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Their ally, still opting for just a lot of roaches. Glial reconstitution's gonna finish up, giving those roaches some much needed movement speed. How will Team Blue respond? What's everybody doing? It's a bit of a macro turn moment here. Ollie, adding on some gases, getting Glial as well. Roaches, the flavor of the day for our Zerg players. Oz, though, Blue Terran here in the upper left, opting for what looks like bio play, which is not a terrible idea. It can certainly handle the roaches pretty well, at least unless infestors come out. However, cyclones is another story, is another issue indeed. Marine Marauder can handle cyclones pretty well. If you get stim, you get shields. Thank you, Ollie, for that ink command, spotting that well. What was I saying? Oh, cyclones. Marine Marauder can be fine. You get stim, shields, concussive shells. They can hunt them down reasonably well. Siege tanks are pretty helpful too though. If you're in a TVT and for some reason seeing cyclones, highly recommend some siege tanks. Looks like Oz is going to opt for that. Maybe this could just be Marine tank though. Cyclones focusing down an innocent overlord. Gun him down in cold blood. A brief moment. Not much happening out on the map. Everybody's building up. We'll follow the roaches around as they shuffle briefly. Roaches not doing a whole lot of shuffling. Cyclones, though, moving out. Let me see, where do they go? Scan forward, going after the creep tumors. Cyclones locking onto the nearby overlords. What will they be met with? A very impressive Zerg force, actually. Ling Roach Ravager, the perfect answer, I say, to the Cyclones. Not so perfect an answer, though, to the Nidus Worm that's going up in the back of that base. There is a siege tank here for defense. Excellent use of teamwork here for our blue team. Nidus Worm, gonna be a little successful. Roach is going to pour forth, start to go after a siege tank. The drones are going to be pulled, and at the same time, a force cuts off the... What in the lighting change was this? The reinforcement's gonna be cut off by the main attack group. Luckily, the Terran, proving a powerful ally, gonna clean up that worm, start to clean up the attacking force. I don't know what happened with the lighting on this map. Everything's a bit more illuminated and green all of a sudden. Emerald Dream, anyone? I don't know. We are seeing blue start to band together. There's a lot of Marines. Where are all of your medevacs? Kind of spread out all sorts of ways. A little bit of a skirmish in the middle of the map here. Both teams coming to the front line. Cyclones being as annoying and abusive as ever. This is just Marines, which is not ideal, I would say, for fighting Cyclones. Marauders with shells, very helpful. The Marines can keep up, but they can't effectively slow them down, and therefore catch up. The Roach Rav doing a decent job, pushing everything back, taking a lot of damage though on the way here, and Widowmine's going to burrow connections in the middle of the map. Even the Overseer going to be picked off. Rest of the Zerg force is going to be eliminated swiftly. There is another Nidus Worm in the same spot, but behind this, or perhaps ahead of this, I should say. In front of this is Oz getting damage done. On the other side of the map, SCV is going to be pulled. Cyclones called back. Roach Ling. These are still slowlings. Elite. Not so elite Zerglings, though. Very well. Oz's Marines eventually going to be cleaned up. They did get some damage, though. Can't really... Can I see it this way? Oh, I can see it this way. Alright. So... On has lost a total of 34 SCVs. The most out of any of the players so far. Roaches get on top of the siege tanky, quickly eliminate the queen, and focus down the hatchery. Is going to get it. Oz could chase a little bit. Unfortunately, though, creep works both ways, ladies and gents. The red Zerg is benefiting from blue's creep. Blue Zerg responding, I'll kill my own hatchery over here then, dare I say. Roaches, how are our upgrades looking? 2-2 for red. 2-2 for the red Zerg. Blue, going to be dealt with, unfortunately. The Cyclones coming into the help too. Another Nidus Worm. Elite. So H. Putting the 328 Appums to actually solid use, I say. I can tell you that when I loaded this game, everyone's portrait was either Diamond or Masters. So I had high expectations going into this. I'm proud to say I'm not disappointed yet. Ooh, the Cyclone's gonna catch some reinforcing Terran units in the middle of the map quickly. Deal with those. The Nidus Worm eventually dealt with. The Overseer at long last will be picked off, which is going to hurt future Nidus Worm potential here. Stim the Marines. Roaches come back to the defense. Cyclones also helping out. Oz doing a good job, buying a little bit of time, maybe. Pulling the forces back. Luring some Cyclones into a couple siege tanks, which kill off more Cyclones than anything else combined at this point. Maybe an over-exaggeration. Yeah, I know. It's okay. Elite Zerg forces, battle of the bugs here. Oh, can't go that way. There's rocks. Luckily, roaches, very capable of chewing on rocks, so therefore the rocks will be destroyed. I do admire the buddy system. It's important to never travel alone. These are dangerous woods that don't have trees. Oh, here's some trees. Alright, I'm fine. Very good. Red Zerg taking his sweet time, killing some rocks. Let the opponents know they're coming. Always a nice benefit. Polite way to go about war. Lurkers are here. Or the blue Zerg, Ollie. Moving up. Roach Lurker. Elite's Lurker Den. Halfway done about now, but likewise the Fusion Core spotted for Great Oz, along with quadruple Starport. When Great Oz here says it's battle cruiser time, he means it's battle cruiser time. All right. Good old quadruple Starport Fusion Core. Unfortunately, very intriguingly plays Nidus Worm may start to ruin this Terran's day. Nidus Worm's gonna complete. Roaches pour out. Likewise, the Cyclone Widow Mine hybrid combo here. Gonna start to terrorize the left side of the map. Oz opting to just drop the Marines on the other side, kill off quite a bit of SCVs over here. Rest of the Zerg forces, not quite sure of their purpose, cut off from any swarm communication for a brief moment. Roaches gonna respond to Roaches. The starport will not be destroyed unless it burns down. We'll keep a close eye on that. Oh, the wall is down. The Cyclone Widow Mine gonna shuffle forward. Roach Ravager on the other side. Things are not looking good for Team Blue here. Lurkers, though, can always turn the tide. The Widow Mine's staring angrily from above ground, which is a little less than ideal for Widow Mine usage. Oh. Those are drilling claws mines, aren't they? Yes, they are. With +3 armor. You could get attack, you know. Cyclones do benefit from attack upgrades now. Oh dear. Chaos erupts. Oz's drop will be cleaned up by some Zerg forces. Cyclone Widow Mine. There's a few siege tanks here, so I don't think Oz is going to die. The starport died, though. Battlecruiser's out to help out, though. And are we just going home? Okay. We're just going home. Fine. Well, Oz kind of is wreaking havoc in On's home base. Here we have an attack command from somebody. There was no chat that popped up, so I don't know whose it was. Another Nidus Worm set to spawn. Oof, the Hydra wins the day there. Battlecruiser gonna respond to the Nidus Worm. Actually, even the SCV's getting in on the action here. The drop, eventually, cleaned up, forced away, however you want to word it. Well, the buddy system overlords are still alive. Very close to Mutas, though. Elite opting for the Mutalisk response, perhaps to Oz's battlecruisers. Well, this battlecruiser will definitely be dealt with. I think we did, says Great Oz. Never surrender, ladies and gents, unless, of course, you have to surrender. Infinite wisdom. That's the tip of the day. You're welcome. Great Oz, I mean, I think Great Oz feels it more because there's no mining bases. Everything was pretty much destroyed. Blue Hatchery will be destroyed as well. The Lurker's not proving to be very helpful thanks to the Overseer for red there. Cyclone Widow Mine gets scared by a single siege tank, instead gonna opt to surround the blue forces here. The Widow Mine's burrow. Connections across the board. Zerg forces eliminated. Battlecruisers still exist though. And now we've got Battlecruiser siege tank. Oz switching out of a bio-related composition. Very apt, I would say. Battlecruiser siege tank, I think, is the way to go here. Do we have any upgrades? We've got +2 attack for the tanks, +1 for the battlecruisers. I'd love to see some armor upgrades, though. The battlecruisers, their only real vulnerability here, Cyclones and Mutas. As long as they stick together, it should be fine. Ooh, a lot of Lurkers on the way. Unfortunately, Lurkers not able to really handle Mutas. There's a lot of Mutas too. The Hydras will definitely take out a few with them. Upgrades, I think, are better for the Hydras. 3-2 on these Hydras. They are going to shred some of the Mutas. Eventually will be dealt with, but at a great cost for the red Zerg here. Red Terran. Scan. The scan of revealing what I'm about to do. Yes. Cyclone Widow Mine, Muta, Corruptor, actually, very anti-cruiser now. We'll deal with that hatchery. What do we have over here? Oz the Blue Terran opting to just go across the map. A little bit of a base trade. Base race scenario. That's a lot of Widow Mines, Batman. Why can I see their range every time they're attacking? I don't need to see their range. Gosh. Blizzard. Ooh, gonna quickly focus down that building. Cyclones don't auto-lock onto buildings that don't attack, but ladies and gents, if you want to lock on, you can lock onto any building, you just have to use the command. Which is why I would highly recommend binding that lock-on key to whatever you use for rapid fire. There's your actual tip of the day. Red, Widow Mines, not doing a whole lot. Cyclones doing a little bit more. Where's the Zerg at? Amassing. Oh, it looks like they lost all of their mutas. Ooh. Not sure what happened to the mutas there. Decent number of mining bases still. Zerglings not going to do very well against lurkers, I think, though. Well, maybe. No, not at all. Not at all. I stand by my initial statement. Team Blue biting back, fighting hard here. The amount of forces are dwindling. Red Zerg is down to only 4 mutas. 17 Cyclones and 16 Widow Mines still exist, though. That's a little tough to deal with. Team Blue opting to split up here, try and cover more ground, a little more surface area. Things not looking great now for Team Red. Dare I say, 4 mutas gonna harass the flying buildings. Excellent choice. The Cyclones going to deal with most of the ground forces with the help of the Widow Mines, of course. Emotional support mines. They come with the Cyclones everywhere. It's therapy mines, right? Gotta have them on the airplane, in the car, in the government building that says no pets, but you can still get in with a pet because you made such a fuss. The lighting here. The lighting keeps changing, and I think it's the map. I don't think it's me. And I'll still blame me, though. I'm sorry, guys. It's all my fault, obviously. I'll have to internalize this, process it poorly for the next 10 years in therapy. 4 mutas gonna harass the engineering bay. How's the production tab? Oh, shoot, that was the production tab. There was nothing. Now, 1 hatchery, 1 supply depot on, opting to take the bottom left bingo base corner. The Cyclones coming back home, though. Losing a few of their numbers, though. Lurker's gonna burrow. No scan at this time. The Cyclones will take a bit of damage here. The battle cruisers find the nearby building, floating building yard. Yes, it's like a shipyard, but for buildings only. Oz rightfully just getting them burning and moving on to the next target. Just total structures heavily in favor of blue. I'm gonna have to go with a disagreement to the earlier statement. I think we did. No, I think they did. Yeah. A little bit of a standoff in the middle of the map there. Both of them have things that can burrow. Uh-oh. Where's the detection? Is there any overseer? No. You've got 13 OVs, but no lair, I think. Yeah. Just hatches. Mutas, in case you were wondering, are still wreaking havoc. 2 points of damage at a time. The factories slightly burning is going down. 15. No. The factory burns down. Don't know where the SCV went. You pulled off the SCV to go build a depot? What? Madman. Alright, very well. Cyclone Widow Mine roaming through the map now. The Muta's dying off to the Hydra's. Elite perhaps distracted trying to build a spawning pool. Gonna lose those Mutas. And with that, I don't think there's much hope for the game here. Only one mining base for red. There's only one SCV for on, who has to build 10 depots at the same time of letting the factory burn down. Well, hello there. And on immediately leaves the game. Very nice move. The factory's gonna burn down. The SCV's still building depots like the good worker they are. It would appear that Elite has taken over. Yes, Elite has taken over for trash talking. Throw but GG. Us responding. Kinda. There was a point. There was a point that I think the Team Red could have closed it out, but things were very intense. This was quite an amazing 2v2, I would say. And at the final moment, Elite is going to leave the game with a sort of GG. Throw, but GG. Very well then. Excellently played 2v2. You two, great Oz and Ollie girl. Well done. Well played. Very entertaining. Thank you for the submission. Onwards now. Ladies and gents, I have one more game for today. For the second game of the day, we find ourselves on the map Site Delta. The blue Protoss here in the upper left corner. It is I. Yes. And their Terran opponent, the red SCVs, landing in the bottom right corner. It is I. Get it right. Keep these two apart in your minds. Can you separate them, of course? I know, very similar. It actually looks like there's more in the Protosses. Maybe. I'm sure one of you will pause the video and try and count it. You can let me know in the comments below. I think the Protoss has one more. Which, you know, raises all sorts of questions, I'm sure. Just not for me. This is a game that was played initially on the PTR, I am told. It's a PTR match. I had to load the PTR just to get this replay to work, guys. Very inconvenient, very weird. Anyways, so the balance and numbers in this may not be exactly indicative of what went live, because this was done during testing. Although, let's be realistic, there weren't really that many changes that happened in between. And that's all I'm going to say on that matter. The Protoss opting for a slightly greedy Nexus before core here. No Zealot follow-up, SCV, gonna scout that. And if you ask me what's the ranking of these two, I don't know. I can tell you their APMs are rather different. Protoss at around 110, Terran at a gleefully unhelpful 250 at this point in the game. What, you using 250 to make a bunker? Come on. Be you. That's all it takes. Build a bunker. Wow, the SCV. The bunker's definitely going to complete. So the Protoss opting to make a pylon, I suspect, for battery. This is a really good reason we go core before Nexus Protoss players. Stalker going to make its way out of the gateway. Little bit of micro. Nope. Alright. Well, the bunker's definitely going to complete, which means we will likely need a shield battery. Oh, the SCV is actually going to die. This is why they usually put the SCV in the bunker. Well, Stalker is here, going to respond. Battery starts. Battery number 2, because the buddy system is always important, even in buildings, yes. With 2 Stalkers, though, you should be able to just focus the bunker down, just trade off whoever's taking damage. Maybe don't put probes down here just yet, though. Either way, this is going to be handled with relatively minimal losses. The bunker's not even salvaged, fully destroyed. The probes pulled off the line to go after the Reaper, which will meet its end. What's been going on behind this? Well, it's the PTR, guys. It could also be the live patch because we've got cyclones on the way. CC made on the high ground, going to be floated down. Another factory on the way. The Protoss opting for a Stargate. Intriguing choice. Slightly ambitious, perhaps. Stalker's gonna move across the map. I really like this move because there's not really any defenses out right now. 2 Cyclones are gonna pop out just now. And take their sweet time in getting down that ramp to help out these SCVs, which are recall. No, you'll get one of them out. Okay. What's it gonna be, Mr. Protoss? It's a Void Ray. What? It's a Void Ray. And a Robo. And a Twilight. I would like to have my cake and eat it too, if that's okay with everybody else. The Robo, of course, necessary. Immortals are the answer, Protoss players. If you have been struggling against the plight caused by the turbulent twister that is this godforsaken unit, Immortals, Colossi, maybe Storm. Probably not. I probably wouldn't recommend that. Blink Stalkers, sure. Yeah, if you have more than, enough APM to actually make it work. And I'm not talking about just microing the Stalkers. I mean building anything else while microing the Stalkers. Look at that. 1 Cyclone. All he did was think about going up that ramp, and that Immortal was like, no, stay down. Bad Cyclone. Probe makes its way out of the base before those clones got there, and is going to make a Nexus. Huh. An intriguing choice. Fleet Beacon researching flux veins right now, which I like. I can agree with. If you're gonna get Void Rays, I'm not too sure how I feel about that part, but if you're gonna get Void Rays, hey, flux veins, why not? The Cyclone's just gonna roam around a little bit, realizing we cannot go up this ramp because any amount of Immortals exist. Watch and learn, ladies and gents. Behind this other Terran, just continuing the trend. More clones, more factories. Yes. Very good. The exciting match we were all hoping for, no doubt. Why here? Like, you could have taken any of these bingo bases. Why you gotta go next to the Terran's third? This is very realistic that the Terran could find this. I mean, they're a little busy pretending to have Cyclones out on the map, with their still almost 200 actions per minute. Oh god. Really? It's a proxy mothership? Come on, you gotta be kidding me. Well, that at least answers the question of why here, though. The Protoss is going to move out onto the map. The Cyclone's going to get very scared, terrified for their lives. Even though there's enough Cyclones, they could at least do some damage to this. And a carrier. 1 carrier. Oh god, the Cyclone's moving around out on the map, though. If they find this Nexus... Is this going to be a recall? Am I going to get my thumbnail material right here? Which is good, because something better happened this game. Oh boy. I'm having to be very entertaining. I feel like I have to apologize to you guys. The mothership is going to complete. Look at it. Look how small it is compared to how it used to be. That 10% size reduction, right? Also gonna make some probes here, which is an intriguing choice, I think. The army forces are very nicely grouped up back at home. Might be waiting on that carrier. Carrier does complete. Carrier going to join up with the rest of the forces, which means I think it's time. I think it's time you move this mothership into position. The Terran can see most of their base. Cannot see just outside it though. And these Cyclones are highly out of position. Woefully unaware. Here we go. Get it ready. Offensive recall. Yes. Mothership reveals itself. Recall initiated. What a good time for Protoss music, too. Protoss force is going to recall into the main base. Siege tanks pop out. Going to try to set up the Stalkers blinking forward, though. Scan goes down, preventing use of that cloak just yet. Time warp down. A beautiful placement for that time warp. I like it. Cloaking initiated the next 20 seconds. That mothership is cloaking everything nearby. Unfortunately, the Terran... Well, never mind. The Terran wasn't scanning, but they also don't need to because the Protoss is just going to blink out. Completely level the Terran's army. The mothership Proxy proves successful. The double barcode showdown here. Who can barcode better? We had the mass Cyclones versus a Proxy mothership rush. I couldn't ask for better, though. Thank you. It was entertaining. Thank you for the submission. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you were entertained. And that you have a great day.